What up, folks? Let me know when you're in here. Leave me a comment when you guys come in. That'll definitely let me know I'm not going crazy and streaming unlisted. So let me know when you guys are here. What up, Angie? Good to see you. What up, Nate Skates?
Hi, Terry. I'm supposed to meet with Kyler. Is that right?
Tyler?
Yep.
I'll just have you sign in and I'll call him.
All right.
What up, Joey? Good to see you, bro. So this is a new channel, guys. The channel is called Good Citizen Freeman. Joey, I'm gonna make you a moderator. Angie, I'm gonna make you a moderator. If you guys can grab the channel link and slap it in there. You guys go subscribe. New channel. One of the things we like to do is empower the people. Let their voice be heard. You know what I mean? I sent those links to my dude, by the way, Joey, just so you know.
All right.
I'm Kyler. Yep. Mr. Patton?
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
All right. How's it going, sir?
All right. How are you?
All right.
I'm Kyler.
I'm Tom.
All right. Come on back. Let's borrow Superintendent's office here.
Thank
Okay.
you, bro.
You doing some filming or?
Yeah. Yeah, I have a syndrome. I can't remember shit. CRS.
I suffer from the same syndrome, I think. I can't remember shit. Sometimes I'll be on the phone with someone for like an hour, and as soon as I hang up, I'm like, who the hell was I just talking to? Yeah, I think I'm getting old, folks. You can tell.
See?
All right, buddy. So, I guess what I'm here is why do you guys think you don't have to have posts
Posts?
or comments on your government page?
Yeah. So I've read the law pretty extensively. I know me as an expert. There's a couple of different
Here.
cases that you're referring to. The Knight versus Trump case, or Trump versus Knight case, more accurately. My understanding of that is that that's disallowing government individuals or entities from blocking people from seeing what's on their page, and we're not doing that. So that's not really applicable. The other one is about selectively removing or saying only certain people can comment here. Only if you comment something we don't like, we're taking it down. And what we're doing is a little bit different from that. What we're doing is we're saying, hey, listen, when we post an announcement,
So, real quick, so you guys know what's going on. This guy sent me an email, and he's talking about he's having issues at the school board, and these guys are basically making you identify before you can even go in to like the meetings and stuff. And this is happening everywhere now. We're having issues with the schools, all right? And it seems like the parents are being villainized as if they're bad people. So only the teachers can help your kids decide what they want to be, right? And they don't have to tell the parents. But at the same time, on the other hand, it seems like the teachers are being villainized as well. Like if they're all trying to teach our kids sick, disgusting stuff, right? But I'll say this, parents have rights. And one of the things I didn't like about Kamala is the fact that when she was in California, she went on this whole thing where she made it illegal, made it a crime if your kids' absences weren't cleared. So they started arresting parents for truancy of the kids. So to me, that was a bad choice of a presidential candidate, for someone who would go out of their way to villainize parents and then create and make a media circus out of it, right? And if you guys don't know, go look it up. I'm not making this up. This is like shit that happened. And so she's the leader of the party that I used to be a member of, right? Or consider myself a member of the party, is pushing for weird agendas, right? And not only that, but giving money away to other countries while our country suffers. Like, these things to me are like things that we should really think about and consider, right? And same thing with the schools. Just look at the way government is operating right now. And it's both sides. It's both sides. It's been operating like this for a long time. It's both sides. And they want to take away your rights. They are turning information desks into security checkpoints, if that makes any sense. Think about that.
We're disabling comments in their entirety. And so the announcements, and the reason for that, and this is our perspective on this, is
they're disabling comments in their entirety. I spoke to the armed fisherman on the phone the other day for like 3 hours. I think we spoke on the phone, and we're just going back and forth, understanding what we're all doing here, right? What our job is. And his city council has shut down public comments entirely, and we're starting to see this everywhere. And Jamie says, so you go from cop watching to political, what's next? Religion? Well, I grew up a Christian, Jamie, since you want to know. Right? No, but on a serious note, politics is what gives cops, the power they think they have, right? Because without cops, politicians are just people with bad ideas. Cops are that heavy hammer. So there's a lot of politics involved with what we do. I usually don't talk about it. And I'm not saying that I trust Trump, I didn't say that. I said what I did not like about Kamala, right? That's my freedom of speech, Jamie. And did that not happen? Am I not seeing that? There was a 7-hour video that I saw, and it was of the Edison, New Jersey school board meeting. And I like that video because on one hand, you have everybody on the right saying, they're the stupid policy that they're in there. They want to change our kids and allow the schools to, not let the parents know what's going on, and they can keep secrets from parents and stuff like that. And on the other side, you have the left saying pretty much like, oh, you're putting the kids in a dangerous position with these parents. But as I was watching and paying attention to both sides of the argument, I thought it was great to watch and listen to both sides, because I'm like, damn, they both have really good points. And they both have like radical views, I guess. You know, for instance, one guy stepped up and said, "Man, like, I'm straight, I'm male, you know, and I have, you know, kids, and I'm a teacher for so many years, and I gotta say that not all teachers are bad. You're making it seem like all teachers are teaching this to the kids, and then you have parents coming up and saying, man, you have the schools coming up and making it seem like parents are bad." And I have a lot of people emailing me talking about what's going on in their school. I have people pissed off because I haven't highlighted the paperwork that they send me. It's kind of hard to highlight paperwork without having video of a story, especially because this is going on in school districts everywhere throughout the country, right? And like I said, I usually don't talk about politics and stuff like that, but this shit hits home because now we have parents going into the schools, questioning them, demanding answers. We have, like I said earlier, information desks turning into security checkpoints. Excuse me. And that's not just happening at schools. It's happening in federal buildings, state buildings. We went to Philadelphia to visit, and it was a state building, not even a federal building. They were demanding identification. You give up your name, your ID. You can't even get in without your ID. And if you want to take a tour of this public building, you can actually pay to take a tour. So they want you to pay to go into a public building. They're turning information desks into security desks. They're villainizing the parents, but they demand that you send your kids to their schools. You see the pattern of what's happening here? And they put in these policies and all that shit. And if you go to the school and you demand answers, they're going to call the cops, kick you out. Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to go political. I'm trying to help maybe myself understand and comprehend what's going on and how politics and the schools and the police tie into each other. What can we do as parents, concerned parents, right? To make sure that our kids are protected. What did I personally do, guys? For those of you who are still here, I started homeschooling my kids, and I talk to Rights Crispy, a friend of mine, all the time, and he homeschools his kids. And so is that where we need to be as a people, is homeschool our kids? We should have some kind of education system outside of the education system that homeschools kids or homeschool kids can go and hang out and learn, teach each other shit, build, you know what I mean? Thrive in society. I agree with Pat's comment right here. As soon as it pops up, we need less government. Yes, I agree, Pat. Less government and less fucking enforcement, right? What up, Lucinator? Good to see you, bro. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up and shoot a 1 in the chat if I'm making sense, because there's some deep thought right here, folks. Shit.
Super happy on pictures of kids, pictures of activities, to let people, tag their families and stuff. That's fine.
Would
But
you be
we-
interested on reading something I got here for you?
Sure, of course.
You're gonna have to give me a second.
That's fine.
There it is. Here's the, pretty much from the top, on down.
What is this?
Different cases pertaining to this. This is the ACLU site.
Yeah.
And I understand you guys think that you can just disable comments, but anything you post on there has the right to have comments. I understand that the courts have given you guys an opportunity that if people are off subject, well, yeah, you can delete their posts and block them on the comments of that issue. But that's off subject of what you're posting about.
Give me a second to read this. Sorry.
Yeah, not a problem,
I'm not
sir.
great at paying attention to two things at once. I'm trying to listen and also.
I understand.
Yeah.
That's a good question, Jerome. It's Kamala. And how many people were actually arrested, charged, and or convicted under these truancy laws? I'll say this. In Kern County, where I live, this is a conservative county, right? So if they're going to enforce that heavy-handedly, I'm guessing Kamala sent a strong agency here to enforce. Everywhere else too, but I'll say that I remember there being more like what do they call them? The cops that work at the schools, school officers. What do they say on the cars? I forget what it says, but they started hiring more. And you started to see them actually go to the houses of the people not too long ago. So that shit, Jerome, is still happening. There's a video on my channel not that long ago where I went out there and recorded, and there was school cops at a house. And we started recording, and they tried to tell us that we couldn't be out there recording. Of course, we laughed at them, ridiculed them, pointed the finger, made jokes, giggled a little bit. And we were clowning, yes. But it's still happening. They're still doing it. They're still trying to arrest parents if the kids don't go to school, right? If that's the case, my mom would be locked up because I used to ditch a lot. All right? I ditched school every chance I got. You know what I mean? If there was anybody doing anything, playing video games, I ditched. You want to hear a true story? This is a true story real quick, guys. You're going to like this. I had a friend named Caesar. All right? Big dude. Big ass kid. He was tall. He's a fat kid. We ditched school together. The first time we ditched school, we hung out in the alley. And we sat there on our backpacks and we were looking at Playboy magazines that I got from my neighbor's house. My neighbors grew weed when that shit was really illegal. They were cool cats, man. We used to have our fence between the houses, and the fence boards would open like this, so we'd always go in there and go swimming. They would let us use the pool whenever. And one time they had some Playboy books outside on the back chairs, and I borrowed them for the day. I returned them, but that's what we did. That's right, Lucinator, kindergarten cops. Resource officers. Is that what they're considered, Gary? I think so, right? They have the same laws in Wisconsin. That's what they're doing, folks. They're creating these laws. And she's the leader of the party, right, that's doing that. But both parties are guilty of it all. They're both doing it because the left wants to come in and implement all these policies, and the right wants to come in and support the cops who's going to enforce these policies. And then they're going to point the finger at each other and say it's their fucking fault. It's their fault, man. Shit. See what this guy's talking about. We block comments. Yeah, Angie.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure
So, and we're not disputing that we're a government actor. We're certainly a government entity, right? We're obviously, this isn't and what the dispute with
LinkedIn and Freed and
yes,
Trump.
that's
Yes,
what Freed. Yeah,
they
the
were
Freed one was about: is this individual a government actor?
Yeah.
We're not disputing that we're a government actor. We have we're obviously a government actor. Our belief, and again, I'm reading this again, like just real quick. Our belief here is that we're able, and this says, when public officials are engaging as government actors, they're not allowed to censor you based on your viewpoint. And that's not what we're doing.
But it also talks about, say, in the POTUS one up above, how when you guys have posts, I mean, people are able to comment on the
John?
posts.
I'm not seeing that. Sure.
It's going to have POTUS at the very end of the.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gotten there yet.
You're going to have to give me a second
That's
on
fine.
this. But I mean, if you follow into this and say you talk to your legal people, I mean, they're going to tell you that what I'm quoting is fact. I'm not going to speak
I
to
have
you.
no doubt that what you're quoting is accurate. What I'm saying is I don't believe it applies to what we're doing.
You allowed 5 posts to agree with you. It looks like you turned them off because you got some dissenting opinions.
I don't believe we've done that. Where have we done that?
Here. Let me open the Facebook for you.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not trying to have an argument here.
No, not at all.
You guys can get his channel link. Good Citizen Freeman. Excuse me, guys.
Understand you guys' position, and you guys think that you can do what you want as a government agency. But here's the post we're here about, right?
Uh-huh.
So when you go into the comments,
Absolutely, Angie.
3 of these, or 4 of these, if you want to get technical, are government people. 3 of them work for the school district in some form or fashion, or the college. This lady works at a government agency as well.
Okay.
And this lady has children at the school from the research that I can do on this matter.
So I don't see a negative comment in these.
But that's my point. When you turn off comments and disable comments on Facebook, you're able to delete. What it appears right now is you have deleted comments that you didn't like that were dissenting.
that's not true, sir.
But I mean, it doesn't show that because once you turn off comments, nobody can see that. That's my irritation with this. It may not be as it appears, but you got to understand, me being on this side of it, well, when they turn off comments because maybe they got some dissenting opinions, I was getting ready to post on that and quote the cases. And I mean, it's not legal
You were getting ready to post what? Sorry.
on that issue right there.
About our intention to.
And then I found out when I went to post, all comments have been disabled. You allowed 5 other comments before.
Yeah, and so what happened there was there's a manual button I have to click to turn comments off.
And you're not allowed to turn off comments on a
believe you were
government
mistaken
page.
about that.
I mean, that's as far up as the White House not being able to turn off comments.
I
And
don't
federal
believe that's
law will supersede any law that you get in front of me.
I'm telling you, I believe that you're mistaken. I believe that we're not allowed to censor comments based on viewpoint.
And censoring comments
doing
means that you're not allowed to block any comments.
Based on viewpoint.
If you
I don't
post
think
it,
that's correct. I'm sorry.
if you post it, sir, I mean,
The ACLU says we're not allowed to censor comments based on viewpoint. The Freed case says we're not allowed to censor
Okay.
comments based
John
on
Eagle.
viewpoint. That's not what we're doing.
School board
We're
blocking
disabling
comments.
commenting, period.
this is the only time that the Supreme Court has allowed you guys to do any kind of.
Well, this is from a site called the 74.
And I get that, but I can get
I'm
the
not sure
Supreme
this
Court
is-
case on that if you'd like. I haven't done this without the research, sir. That's just the
I've also
easy.
done quite a bit of research on this.
Okay,
I'm not trying to
and I'm not going to argue with you. If we're not going to be able to come to an agreement, then, I mean, you're not able to block any comments on any post.
I haven't seen evidence of that yet. This says block constituents, not block comments. This says school board members can block constituents. That's specific individuals. Disabling comments is not the same thing. Disabling comments at large is not the same thing. If we were to say Thomas Patton can't comment on our stuff, that would be a different thing than saying nobody can comment on our stuff.
Okay, and you've allowed 5 other people to post on this.
Well, and that was something that happened, kind of slipped in, but in between me being able to, and that's an error on my part, but it's not by any means.
From my understanding, I thought it was where no public official can disable comments or block comments. And there was a lawsuit as well where they turned off all comments and the dude sued and won. I shared that video. I'll have to look for it and find it. Possibly link it in the description of this video. Does every agency or school board or every government installation or agency, do they have to be sued individually so that they can turn them on? Or should there be a memo after one fucking lawsuit that gets sent out and says, leave them on, leave the comments on, right? Or does every school board have to get sued individually? Or every government agency, police department, or whatnot, right? Like, turn them all on. Whoa, that's what's up. Unliving Andre Hill in the garage. He was found guilty on all charges, faces 15 years to life. He is sentenced November 25th at 9 p.m. Hell yeah, bro. That's the cop that, dude wasn't even holding the gun, and cop just unloaded on him. Boom, 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 right? Then he was acting like he was throwing up. He was dry heaving. That's the guy, John Eagle. Right? Yeah, dude. About time these cops start getting found guilty.
Intentional censoring of anything, and I don't believe it's a censoring.
It looks like
act.
a stifling is what it looks like, sir.
Well, I appreciate what it looks like, but I believe legally that's not what it is.
Okay.
And again, it's important to us. Appearances matter. We certainly are intending to be as, and I believe.
And I
we
mean,
are.
something as big as this issue at hand.
And what would your comment have been?
I mean, it's a Fourth Amendment violation. You don't have the right to. I'll sit there and I'll hold my ID to the window. I'm on the list. If you make the parents give you a list, how are you going to change what they give you?
I don't know what that means. I'm sorry.
How are you going to stop them from coming in? How are you going to stop anything? I mean, I have grandchildren
We have
in
a
this
big job.
in this school. I'm going to have more grandchildren when my son has grandchildren. So, I mean, you guys are going to be stuck with me for a long
And
time.
we're happy to have you, sir. But the issue is that we are tasked with protecting our students and teachers.
And I get that, but let's quit pussyfooting around about that right there. I mean, that isn't going to give you guys anything. There's nobody here with the education to assess a threat. You want to do what's right, then give them what the judges and the DAs have. There should be a metal detector with a guard there that's an armed cop, just like the damn judges and the DAs have. We should quit pussyfooting around about this issue and fix it. I mean, you want to get real technical about the system that's in place, it's not even foolproof. We can
Certainly
go.
not, but we're trying to increase the level of security. To the
But how
extent
is this going to help when all you're going to do?
Let me ask you guys something. All right. if government was helping people, why would they be afraid of the people? Now, don't get me wrong. I know sometimes people bite the hand that feeds. Don't get me wrong. But like they act like they're afraid of the people. But if you're really on the up and up, you shouldn't be afraid of the people, right? These guys act like everyone's out to get them. They're afraid of everyone. Any thought on cops getting total immunity now? The orange dumpling one. I don't think that's going to happen. Cops are not going to get total immunity. I doubt that. Even if Trump really wanted to do that, I don't think he can just do it like that, right? Doesn't it have to go through the Supreme Court? I don't know. If he does, he's gonna screw himself big time. People are gonna be pissed. You know, I don't trust Trump. Don't get me wrong. I trust Kamala less. If that makes any sense. No, I don't know if he can, even if he wants to. But I'll say this, it doesn't really matter. That's why I trip out on politics and the whole political race. You have people on both sides going crazy for it. You know what I mean? Like, Kamala has to win, or Trump's gonna ruin the country. And the people on the right are like, Trump has to win, or, you know, Kamala's gonna ruin this country. You know? And I'm just like, what about us? What about the people? I believe in you, Angie. I believe in you, Ajot. I believe in John Eagle. I believe in Lucinator. I believe in Lou Sapphire. A lot of you guys, John Speedway, I believe in you. Gary, Pat, Surreal Cam, Joey, Jaime, Annan Mouse. I believe in you guys because we see what's happening with our government. We understand that nobody knows what the rights are. Imagine if the right and the left knew and understood what was happening with the cops. Both, right? Imagine if both sides, especially the youth, knew and understood what the cops were doing, the politicians using the cops, what they are doing. What about us? We don't spend a lot of time. We do in this community. There's a few of you in here that know and understand where we as a country need to be. These politicians are all puppets. You know, they implement new laws, and, you know, but here we are thinking that one side or the other is going to fix things. They ain't going to fix shit. We need to fix shit. For instance, this whole problem with the border crisis, right? Government, are they going to fix the problem? No. We the people need to fix the problem. It ain't just Mexicans in this country. If you look everywhere, there's Chinatown. You got Filipinos living in Delano like crazy. Delano's full of Filipinos. You got people of all over the world living in and around this country. This country is everybody here together, right? How did you get here? it doesn't matter who's in power, the right or the left. They both make deals with other countries. Send them on a boat. Send a boatload of people. Send them on a plane. Send them on, you know what I mean? On a train. Send them all here from somewhere. We'll make a deal with you. Just like they did in Cuba when America owed Cuba for sugar, right? We didn't have the money to pay, so we said, send us a boatload of people. They sent us, the first boat was people that were successful. And we still needed sugar to supply Kellogg's and Coca-Cola and all these companies, right? So that we can sell it to the kids. Cereals. So we needed more sugar, so we said, fuck it. Send us another boatload of people. And that's how you have the Mariel boat lift, hence the movie Scarface. Cuba flushed their toilet on American soil, right? This is happening to this country. This has been happening to this country for many, many years. And our country's allowing it. What do we do to stop it? Depend on the government to stop it? Or do we as a people start connecting, talking to each other? Hey, man, you got my back. You got your back, you got my back. I believe in the people, good people, right? And we've seen it. We've seen people come together and do some great things. I just don't think government's going to fix anything, folks. I would like for Trump to fix things. We'll see. I just don't think it's going to happen. Kamala's worse, though. If you don't believe me, look at her fucking record. She's just as bad, if not worse, than anybody out there. Creating more laws. Right? She loves cops just the fucking same. She loves cops just the same. Our house is ruled by the enemy. All other countries are ruled by the same cult clan, Brotherhood of Freemasonry, in service to the Crown Corporation. There is no government. Heavy. I've been afraid of when and how history would end up repeating itself again. Damn, it's the United States of dictatorship, along with American-style Holocaust. Congratulations. Hopefully not, right? Hopefully not. Hopefully we the people can stop depending on government and blaming government. We're the ones that are giving them the power. By us ignoring our natural rights, not knowing, not even the First Amendment. Nobody fucking knows it. And nobody knows it. And nobody is out there demanding that cops actually know the oath that they swear to. So it's not just a hoax perpetrated on the American people. We're busy worrying about politics. At dinner time, we should be talking about the Constitution and what it means and how to use it. How to put government in check with it, right? Because guys like this guy right here, people like this guy right here, their goal is to take any and all power that you have, any and all control that you have of your own life, take it away and become the Lord. You know what I mean? Become the boss. They want to have control over everything. It doesn't matter who's in charge. The cops will come and enforce it like they did with this guy in the previous video, demanding that the information desk turned security checkpoint, demanding that you show identification to enter the building, right? What kind of freedom is that, folks? And who implemented that bullshit policy? Who's guilty of that? I pray for a better outlook, but we're screwed on one way or another. We didn't open our eyes till it was too late. I mean, we're still in the process of opening people's eyes, Angie. Your eyes are open. You understand why we do what we do. Your eyes are open. Not everybody's eyes. That's our job. What's up, John 146? It goes far deeper than knowing our rights in the Constitution. It goes back to origin, which is still yet to be discussed and absolutely the most critical deep dive to take. I understand where you're going with this, Lou Sapphire. I have been down the rabbit holes for years, and I have what I believe is sometimes see the light at the end. A lot of times, even before I started my channel, conspiracy theorists, guilty. I've been following everything, following all kinds of shit, discarding what I believe is bullshit. I'm not gonna lie, all these people getting busted, it was all a conspiracy. And there's a lot more stuff out there. There's a lot of people that I have heard of that are guilty of this, guilty of that, and they still haven't been busted. Yes, we are, but I'm worried that all this movement was beginning to do for we the people, and now it's going to end. Our country's so messed up, maybe we need someone messed up to fix it. I don't know about that. I think we the people can fix things. We're beginning to understand our rights. I think more people know the First Amendment now than in the history of this country. Through YouTube, we found each other on YouTube. I mean, like, we kind of all know each other. We don't know each other personally. You guys know what I look like. I don't know what many of you look like. I don't talk to you guys in person, but shit, Lucinator X, I feel like I know this guy, right? Shit. Lucinator 69. Why did I call you Lucinator X? I was thinking X Bootlicker. See, guys, I'm getting old. Let's finish watching this video so I can turn this off and go back to bed.
Is say you get somebody like me that you guys don't like hearing, you're going to use that against me and stifle me or stop me.
None of that would. Well, first of all, we do have the legal right to trespass somebody if we want, but we would
if
not
we
do
want,
that based on. That's not what this process is.
You do, but it's only when they're committing a crime.
We have several legal.
This is a government
options.
Paid place by the
Absolutely,
taxpayer.
but it is a place that we are tasked with the safety of. We can't just we're not required to just let people in here. We lock the doors on the buildings.
And I'm more than willing to have that conversation with the officer, because unless I'm doing something illegal, there cannot be a trespass created, sir.
No, certainly we would only trespass an individual if there was something, if there
Disorderly conduct.
I wouldn't just do it offhand, and we would not be able to do it exclusively because somebody was somebody that we had a personal disagreement with,
and
we haven't done that, and we wouldn't do that.
I'd hope not, but that you get where it goes.
We don't have any capacity to do that, or intention for that matter.
I mean, when you're looking at people's background, you guys don't have any right to it.
I don't think that's accurate.
56, eh, Lucinator?
Sir. It's a very common practice in school buildings across the country.
Then what?
including in the city.
My question is for you: if it's so legal, you get a list from all the parents. Why don't you compile a grand
Because
list?
we have people that visit from time to time.
Can I finish?
Absolutely, I'm sorry.
Can you? Why don't you compile a grand list of all these names that have been given to you from all the parents for the registration? And then why isn't it taken down to the police station or the sheriff's department with the people that have the knowledge in the training on how to evaluate a threat? Because it's not legal. That's why it doesn't go that way, sir. I mean, I'm just being completely honest. It would be as simple as that.
It's not legal to background check people who are entering our buildings. It's not legal to background check our employees. It's not legal to background
It's not
check.
legal to background check the people that are on the list. No.
Hey, how are you? I'm borrowing your office.
How you doing?
How are
This
you?
is Thomas Patton. This is our superintendent, Dr. Neal.
You're welcome to borrow my office.
Yeah, thank you. I
I
feel it
just
was
had
easier
to,
than walking down to mine.
I had
Yeah.
to print something,
Yeah,
so we'll sneak over here.
very good. Hey, Ben, how you doing, buddy?
Good.
Certainly. Now, listen. Again,
I mean,
I'm not. I'm not a legal expert here, but I do know that it's extremely common practice to have ID readers, to have.
I do know that when people come and help you guys here, yes, you background check.
Yeah.
But I mean, you guys are a family-orientated place here in this building where this whatever the children are. I get that this is also the administration building.
Angie, the thing about me is I've been on both sides of the political spectrum. I've leaned both ways. And at the end of the day, I feel like I've been bitch slapped by both sides. I walk out of there with rosy cheeks, right? And I feel like I've been bounced back and forth, you know. I feel like a cheap whore being used. When it comes to politics, look it. When I was a liberal, right, I lost conservative friends. When I was conservative minded, I lost liberal friends. All of this was before I started my channel, right? And sometime during, until I started realizing that I just don't trust a party. And I think that's good, to not really trust a party. Just like in reality, whether you believe in God, it's amazing. But even close family who's always been like the super Christian, right? Now he is of the mindset that, I don't have to look at a religion or be a member of a religion to believe in God or to have faith. And I think more people now are waking up to the fact that it's better not to label yourself, right? And when I truly began to understand that politics is destroying this country is when it started to hit home, right? When you have family members who lean one way, the other family members lean the other way, and then the topic at dinner table is no longer freedom, rather than feelings and anger and animosity and hatred and division. And I'm just like, fuck that. Hold up. I'm not gonna let this shit ruin a household like we as a country have been letting politics ruin our home, our country. That's when I had to step up and say, hold on. It's okay to lean one way or the other, to have certain beliefs, certain opinions, ideas. That's okay. But it's also okay to agree to disagree. If you cannot find resolution that day, try to figure it out and find resolution later without the animosity and the hatred and the anger, right? And that's what I hate about, the presidential candidates standing there on the podiums. It's like all they're doing is bickering and blame shifting. And it's like, fuck America. We will never work together. And I get it. Lou Sapphire. Politics is theatrics, all staged for an agenda that would otherwise be completely obvious, the intent by whom, and impossible to accomplish without the bad acting they nonstop propagate. Yeah. Yep. My wife voted for Harris. I voted for Trump, says Conspiracy Music. Hell yeah. Were you guys mad? Was anyone mad in the morning at the other one, or did you guys figure it out? I actually would like to know. Like, were you guys okay at the end? Was your wife okay? I agree, Lou Sapphire. Disassociate if you want to succeed and rise above. Hell yeah. Outstanding. I call presidents mascots. They don't actually run the country. They're there to look good. Yeah, man, I'm not going to lie. At the end, look, I didn't want Kamala to win. All right? I was happy Trump won. Just because I don't like what Kamala has done to California, a place where I live. It's like this, guys. Let's say Trump lived in your home, right? And Trump was a dirty motherfucker. He ate cereals and shit, left it right there, watching cartoons, left the TV on, took a shit, pissed, left your seat up, peed all over your toilet seat, threw your last fucking steak in the microwave, warmed it up, you know what I mean? Drank your last beer, fucking mud all over your carpets and shit. Horrible fucking person to live with. I don't know. I'm just saying, what if? But what if you guys knew Trump more than I did and said, hell nah, it's the worst motherfucker to have in your home, right? It's the worst motherfucker to have in your home. I know because he was in my home. That's how I feel about Kamala. I live in California. I seen what she's done. And I'm just like, nah, man. That's fucking... I had to get new carpet because of her. You feel me? Like, she stepped on dog shit and walked in here. She could have cleaned her feet outside, but instead she wiped it all over the carpet. On purpose. Yeah. Will he give police total immunity? I don't know. I don't know if he will. I don't know if he can, even if he wants to. Conspiracy Music says, my wife isn't happy, but we are stronger than some political BS. Outstanding, bro. Outstanding. As long as he keeps his hands off my last bit of weed. Right? Right? We're all screwed one way or another. Look, guys, we're screwed because we're allowing government to run amok. Run amok. We're allowing government to run amok right? Stop letting government run amok. I should create a shirt that says that. Stop letting government run amok. What's up for public safety? Run amok. Like this guy right here. He wants to turn off comments and allow government to... What, folks? Run amok.
But the children that are here that I'm talking about are the ones, I mean, you're going to stop somebody from coming in when they're on the list. I could see if they were a sex offender.
And
I mean,
honestly,
but you
again,
have...
my expertise on this is limited, but that's probably the large extent of where we're going.
But you have access to all that, sir. I mean, you could go through the list and go through the names, and the information's out there. This isn't...
And again, I'm not super well versed on what's being done in these checks. I don't know to the extent of which, I don't know how, I don't believe that they're showing like, hey, this person has this.
I don't believe you, homie. All right? I don't believe you, bro. Who would have ever thought that the face of tyranny would look like this guy right here? Right? This is a tyrant. He blocks freedom.
To that specific, but I do know that it is public information. It is information that we have every right to have access to.
And I
like
get
any
that.
individual.
But if you're smart enough to get it, then you can have it. It's not as easy as you think it is to get information on people.
To look, well,
I mean, it is
There's
when
a
you
process,
file to the
certainly.
courts, maybe.
but it is
But
regarded
when
as
you go
public
to a
information.
police station or a sheriff's department for a background check,
Right.
it's not as easy as just giving the name.
sure. But what I'm saying is this information is publicly accessible under the right circumstances. And again, I'm not the expert.
Angie. He has the ability. He also has the House and the Senate. Everything horrible that you don't think he can do, he can and will be doing. But Angie, you have to understand that it's not the man himself. Don't be angry at the man. It's the game. It's been happening for years. The left will implement new laws, new ordinances, policies, but they cannot do that without the right coming in and using the cops to enforce said policies, laws, ordinances, all that shit. It's the game. It is a government. It's not one side or the other. It's the entirety of it. It's the entirety of it. He can do all this stuff because he has the House and the Senate to back him up. I'm not saying it's all him. He can't do it himself, but he has what he needs to do it. Yeah, but it's still not him. It's the party. It's the people that... It's, for instance, it's the special interest, the corporation, if that makes any sense. It's the corporation. Is Trump a puppet? Well, he's a gamer, right? I'll say this. The very next day after Trump won, which was yesterday, right? Social media, even Donald Trump Jr., nonstop with the memes and the reposting of the memes and fucking ha 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 Kamala ha ha ha. Hey man, honestly, that's not what I want to see. I want to see motherfucker get to work. You know what I mean? That's what I want to see. I want to see get to work. What you doing now? Like, get to work. I want to see people get to work, man. I mean, look, if you think about it, look at this community, right? Sure, drama videos, people looking for attention with the drama. It gets views and shit like that, right? But for the most part, people don't tune in. The high volume of people do not tune in to watch our bullshit drama. They tune in because they want to create real fucking change. Real change. I mean, if you think about it, that's how we should look at politics. I don't want to watch the bullshit bickering at each other. Ha ha. You lost. Ha ha. Like, fuck. Have some sportsmanship. I mean, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Possibly Lou Sapphire. I don't know, man. I don't know. Community? There's channels that don't believe in community and have been, how would I say it? Shooting down the idea of a YouTube community. Pisses people off. They don't like the idea of a community. James Freeman. And that's why I like the fact that this guy's channel is called Good Citizen Freeman, because there's a bunch of transparency channels out there. It's about time there's a second Freeman channel. Right? I love that you try to keep it together, brother, but it's just as corrupt as the government. That may be so for public safety. That may be so. But I will say this. We are not under policy to act right. We are not getting paid to act right. And that's why you have people doing everything they want, you know. For instance, and I don't disagree with James Freeman, who doesn't like the idea of a community. He doesn't want to be tied to some of these people that do stupid shit, right? Go to private businesses and record people eating, stuff like that. But look, it is unofficial when I speak on this thing, First Amendment audits, auditors, community. You got to understand that this is only YouTube talk, not legal talk, right? We're just the YouTube community. You can see your way through this shit or see your way out of this shit. But those of us, a lot of channels, even Freeman, DirectD, you, me, everybody has gotten support from this First Amendment auditing community. So me, on a personal level, I won't speak for anybody else. I'm just speaking on what they've said on their channels. What I'm saying is I still appreciate the fact that there is a unofficial, not legal, but a YouTube community. And that's why we have our numbers. When people type in First Amendment audits, they want to see First Amendment auditors and shit like that, right? So for me, it's unofficial. It's just something that I appreciate. And if I can give something back to the people, hopefully keep the original premise of what a First Amendment audit was, you know what I mean? And I can spit some history on it. The first person that ever coined the term was Carlos Miller of Photography is Not a Crime. He no longer does videos, but the next person to use it really was Jeff Gray. And the original premise was to record and hold government officials accountable, right? I've tried to keep the original premise along the way because, like I said, I appreciate it. So I try to do what I do and just present it to the people and show my appreciation, not just to this YouTube term that doesn't really exist. It's air. It's just like the word friendship, motherfucker. Friendship is not a mass you can hold and cup in your hands. No, it's a word. We all know what it is. It means something to some. Right? Maybe you don't even like the idea of friendship. I don't know. Maybe you ain't got no friends. Shit. Yeah, guys, let's finish watching this video. I can go on and on and on, man. But I'll just say this, man. I still appreciate the idea of a community. We're still here. We're still here.
On this, what I'm somewhat of an expert on is the social media policy. The social media policy is really unrelated to the issue of the background checks. They're really kind of two separate things. But I appreciate that feedback, and we'll certainly have these conversations.
It's not separate because this is the issue at hand that I'm talking about.
Well,
we're
talking about two separate things, right? We're talking about, are we as a government entity allowed to disable comments on a social post, which I contend that.
And you asked me what my comment would have been.
Yes, I asked you separately what your comment would have been, and that's really information that I'm happy to receive. But I'm not.
How can we keep it clean though? I love the idea. I'm just saying it's corrupt, and we have to way to prevent that. How do we keep it clean, right? I mean, you can't force people to not call themselves an auditor or whatever, and you have people doing the dumbest shit ever, myself included. I'm guilty of that too. I have videos that I'm not proud of. I've tried to improve along the way, right? Like I said, for public safety, it's unofficial anyways, right? A long time ago, fucking James Freeman, and we talk on the phone sometimes, guys, and when we do, we'll talk for an hour at least, and we fanboy on each other, right? Don't let him lie to you. The guy's a fan of San Joaquin. And so we're talking, and but a long time ago, Freeman, would say on his channel that he didn't like. He would laugh at the idea of the auditor's handbook, and he would say comments like, "Those California guys, they're gonna write an auditor's handbook," right? And so I think that kind of discouraged anybody to try to not tell people what to do, but maybe guide people in the right direction. Because in reality, through our channels, we should be trying to guide people in the right direction, right? We don't want to lead people to do dumb shit. Maybe some of us do, not me. I don't want to lead people to go do dumb shit and then fucking laugh at them later. Nah, that's fucked up. I ain't a bitch like that. But recently, I think I do want to present an auditor's handbook, right? Inspired by James Freeman. And we'll create this auditor's handbook inspired by James Freeman. But I'm not going to be the one writing it. We all are. I'll ask you guys what your opinions are, what we do that works, what we do that's stupid, that we should just throw out, have our ideas, our opinions. Try to lead people down the right path, right? And this ain't, you have to do this. Nah, man. What about, I'm going to put James Freeman on the cover, bro. Hell yeah, inspired by James Freeman on the cover. I might get my comic book guy to do it. I'm going to put him in a white, like a white thing and sandals. Like, almost like a Jesus. But I want to get opinions and thoughts from everybody. You know, what your thoughts are, what you believe works on an audit, right? What you believe we should implement into our work, right? Man, I got a call from just a guy having fun, and he has a YouTube channel, and he hit me up. He's, man, I've been trying to get a hold of auditors and channels, and nobody's fucking responding. But I got something important that I'd like to tell you. And I'm like, I'll make some time. So I called him. We talked on the phone, and he told me how it'd be a good idea that before we make complaints on cops, that we go in there and request body cam footage first. And I was like, he said, because once you make the complaint, they'll lock it down and they'll say it's under investigation. They won't provide that shit to you. So it's best to get the body cam footage first, and then that'll buy you some time to go through that department's policy so you can narrow down, accurately pinpoint with precise precision exactly what the cop did wrong. Most of the time it's he's being discourteous, right? And that word is big in police policy, folks, because it says that they're supposed to be courteous. So when you make the complaint, throw in there discourteous. Mine came back sustained when I made my last complaint on a cop. Yep. What the hell was I talking about again? Let's watch the rest of the video.
Not super prepared necessarily as the expert on this information. On this
And I get
concept
it.
to discuss,
I
so.
get it.
Yeah. So again, not.
And I'm
my
not trying to. I'm
understanding
not
of this-
trying
no, I
to be an
appreciate
asshole,
that, sir.
man.
No,
I'm
you're
not.
fine. You're fine. And I'm not either, and I hope that you appreciate.
Oh, I do. I do. I mean, you've been very
I
respectful.
appreciate it. I certainly, that's my intention. But anyway, as I said, I feel quite confident that when it comes to the social side, the social media side of things, although we may disagree, that our flexibility of disabling comments at large is acceptable legally, and it's a policy that unless we're given legal reason to stop is currently the policy we're going to continue to follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But I'm happy to have received this. And the way we invite these sorts of comments is just...
Hold on, Folio. Let me tell you something. Anybody in government that wants to disable comments should be voted out or kicked out of there. Straight up. And this is where we, the people, need to step it up. Right? Go to their city council meetings, school board meetings, say, I'm going to be here every meeting until you're out of that fucking seat. I'm going to let everybody know that you're a tyrant. Why are you disabling comments, you asshole? Right? What up, Four Corner? Good to see you, bro. Yeah, right? All these fools disabling comments, pa fuera, way. Out of here. Get out of here.
like we're having right now. Come in and talk to us, send us an email, so we get a school board meeting. All these things are perfectly acceptable
And-
alternatives. Yeah,
I mean, I plan to be in the school board meeting.
and you're welcome. That's you're a public citizen. You're welcome to be here.
I appreciate
We're
it.
happy to have you.
And I mean, I'm not trying to be a thorn in you guys' side, but there's
No.
certain things, man, I stand for Constitution. Without the Constitution, we don't have
I
anything.
have no disagreement with you
So,
there.
I
I'm a
mean,
big supporter
and
of
that's how the
Constitution.
government agencies are kept in check.
I 100% agree, and again, the Supreme Court has interpreted the Constitution in many ways, and I believe that in terms at least of the
You're interpreting the government in many ways because you don't want to follow it. So you interpret it to your benefit, right? While we as a people are ignoring and forgetting these documents, right, that don't empower us because we have natural rights. Lou Sapphire, I know you're still listening. We have natural rights. The Constitution doesn't give us our rights. That shit limits the scope of authority that government has over we the people. That's why they interpret it their own way. But we the people need to truly read these documents, fully understand these documents, so we can use these documents against them. So, there is no Constitution. Well, there is no Constitution for one because nobody knows it. Everybody's forgotten. And nobody's using these documents to slap it in the face of government and say, bam, here, motherfucker. Stop. You can't override my natural rights, right? Do we have natural rights, Lou Sapphire? Do we have natural rights? There's a guy that I speak to, Jason Bassler. Good friend of mine, man. We're always talking. Puts me up on game on some shit. Good dude. And I used to call him, what I used to call him? Or natural born rights. And he's like, nah, I don't like to call them natural born rights. I like to call them just or natural rights. And I'm like, why is that? He's all, well, you think you got these born rights. Like, people tend to think you're born somewhere into some rights. But when you think of it as natural rights, you just naturally have them the day you're born. Right? Yes. And the domestic terrorists posing as public servants have no honor to the oath. It has been made null and void back in 1789, correction. Yeah, well, if you think about it, I would agree that it's null and void right now to the fact because nobody knows it. The government scoffs at it, laughs at it, calls you a sovereign citizen, breaks every law in the book, right? We as a people are not holding them to it, right? And we shouldn't be waving the amendments around as if they give us our rights. We should stand on our natural rights. And metaphorically speaking, slap the Constitution in their faces. Bam, motherfucker. You're limited. We the people, bam, bam, with your pitchforks and shit. We the people fucking demand accountability and transparency. Make them want to leave office and their seats, right? Rights are really an illusion which is only protected by violence. Yeah. I mean, a monopoly on violence, right? And that's why politics is a game to me. It's a sham. Because the left wants more government and the right's going to come in and enforce it. We're not seeing anything different right now. Unless Trump's going to put cops in check and take immunities away. That's not going to happen. So, as of right now, it seems it's a part of the game. It's designed to continue this way. Right? Am I tripping? Good to see you, by the way, Liberty Freak.
The social media policy, I believe that we're within our rights.
You're stifling free speech, the First Amendment.
I disagree.
Okay.
And we can just
We can agree to disagree.
agree to disagree,
I mean, it's
yeah.
no big deal.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Anyway, is there anything else that I can help you with? I appreciate your feedback on the scanners. We'll certainly factor that in, and it sounds like you have an intention to speak with the school board as well, and I invite you to do so.
Yep.
But is there anything else I can help you with while I've
Nope.
got you?
Nope, I guess, I mean, I gave you the email, I gave you it's put on notice is what it is, so I do appreciate it.
It's my pleasure to have you in. Thank you so much for chatting with us. Let me
Yep.
give you a better handshake. That wasn't my best.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you coming in.
Thank you so
Is
much.
it Tom?
Yep,
Okay.
yep, and I mean, not trying to be a dick.
No, you're just fine. You have a strong opinion and a strong belief, and I respect and support that.
A lot of people
and I
died,
appreciate you coming to talk to me about it rather than just rabble-rousing out in the community.
and a lot of people
Yeah.
died for these rights, sir, that's why I
Certainly, and
stand on them.
listen, I support and appreciate these rights. We have a different opinion on the interpretation of what necessary
Yep,
requirements are.
yep.
We have different opinions and interpretation of what your rights are. Fuck. Wow. I interpret you have no rights, and my understanding is that we have full control over everything because we're the government. They love that shit. They love it. Hopefully Elon can trim some fat from the government. I think he's just a friend to the government as well, right? He's making the cars that can get shut off by the government. Fuck that. You think I want to trade in my 71 El Camino Super Sport for a fucking $100,000 Tesla? Look, guys, my son paid $14,000 for his El Camino. He gave it to Pops as a gift. My dream car, right? He put a couple $1,000s into it, the engine. He chromed up the engine, made it look really nice and everything. That car, probably about 16, 17 grand invested into that car. My son. My wife's car cost us $50,000. All right? Nobody has ever told me or my wife that she has a nice car. Do you know how many people have told me that they like my car, the El Camino? In the El Camino, you don't get miles per gallon. You get smiles per miles. Straight up. It's a Sunday morning ride around the parks, around town. It's a very useful to go grab some sheet wood from Home Depot. I love the car, right? No way in hell would I ever turn in or trade in that car for a $100,000 Tesla. I wouldn't. If the government, Elon or anybody wants to say, run that Tesla 100 miles an hour off a cliff, I don't know if they can do it or not. I don't trust them. I don't trust Elon. He's a friend of the government. Fuck that. Shit. I know, Lou Sapphire. San Joaquin, pay attention sometimes. We need to see the Camino. Yeah, I've shown it a few times. I've shown it, shit. I do want a Tesla Optimus. I'm a nerd. I mean, I guess it would be cool, right? Drive me to the store while I roll this here blunt. Oh no, that's illegal. You can't do that. right? If the Tesla drives itself, is it still drinking and driving if you're drunk? Right? Hey, I seen that, Liberty Freak. I seen your van, bro. It runs on alternative fuels. I remember that. You showed it to me when I met you in Colorado. That was dope. Cool ass van. You just stopped by. Can I get your used oil for my here vehicle? Sure. Hell yeah. Right? Let's watch the rest of the video.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Have a lovely rest of your day.
You too.
Yeah.
Bye. So, there it is. They think that they can do what they want, whenever they want. Just more tyrannical stuff in the U.S., huh?
Going on in a town near you, folks. Happening in a town near you. This guy hasn't had his channel for long, but he's starting to put in the work, and I'm happy, man. It feels good to see new channels pop up. Right? I know sometimes we all want to be the best to ever do it. The best to ever do it. Look, man, we're fighters in this fight for freedom, right? But there's people out there right now that are watching all of us. You know, Eric Brent, his videos that he did, James Freeman, Long Island Audits, San Joaquin Valley Transparency, a lot of auditors, Bay Area Transparency, right? And they're going to take the best out of everything that we're doing. The same thing Long Island Audits did. He repeated a lot of the things that he learned from all of us, and he implemented his own strategy, work, yada, yada, yada. There's going to be people that come in after us, and they're going to truly implement their own ideas, their own ways of doing things. They're going to implement their strategy, and they're going to bring something to the table. And there's already channels that are out there that are like that, I believe. One of those channels is I Am Free Inland Auditing out of the state of Washington. And his work is crazy good, folks. One of the best out there right now. And there are new channels like this one youngster that I did his Paragon City Transparency, right? So good. His work is so good. Young, very well spoken. There's another channel that I watched of a Christian. I actually shared it on the main channel, of a Christian dude who was standing by an elevator. First video where he recorded cops, but his channel's mostly him talking about his Christianity and stuff, which to me, nothing like that bothers me, because this is our freedom of religion as a First Amendment, part of the First Amendment, right? You can talk about whatever you want on your channel. But the kid was outstanding, man. He knew more than the cops on law, his rights, and everything, and it made him look really good. Made him look really, really good. And we're starting to see this, everywhere. It's really nice to see new channels come out and bring to the table what they learned from us, but not just what they learned from us, but implement their own strategy, their own ideas, their own thoughts, bringing all of this to the table, what they have within them, what they see, what they learned, And I think that's why this community, even though there's a lot of bullshit too, people do the dumbest shit in this shit too. Don't get me wrong. People do the dumbest shit in this community, right? Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I always audit the government, bro. Shit. Hell yeah. Like those cops who made the YouTube channel, right? Talking about Long Island audits, and then Long Island audits called them out and exposed what department they came from. They shut their channel down quick. Why? Because it's possible that they were violating their own police policy. So, yeah. Hell yeah. But anyways, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Definitely go subscribe to Good Citizen Freeman. I want to see if we can get him some subs. I'll drop the original channel link in the description and in the pinned comment. I want to see his channel grow. He seems to be doing this in a respectful way. He seems to be doing this for the right reasons. And I'm glad finally James Freeman got another channel to add Freeman to the channel name, because there's a lot of transparency channel names out there, man, but there's not enough Freeman channels, so we need to get James Freeman some support on that. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. See y'all on the next one. Peace.